of my NYX Butter Glosses. Sorry in advance if there's any background noise. There's construction going on right outside my apartment, so it's been pretty loud, but hopefully it'll stay quiet during this video, and even if there are noises, I hope you can ignore them and still enjoy the review. So let's get started. First of all, a note on the formula. All of these glosses have a really smooth, buttery texture, as the name would suggest, and they're not at all sticky. This results in them not having the greatest lasting power, but they still have a fair amount of lasting time, probably just a couple, like 2 or 3 hours. They vary in opacity based on the color, so in general the darker colors and the brighter colors have more opacity, but there are a couple exceptions that I'll point out. Otherwise, there's not that much to say about them. In general, the formula is really nice, and they have a little more opacity than normal glosses, but I wouldn't call them liquid lipsticks. They're definitely still in the category of glosses. So I'm going to go from lightest to darkest, so let's get started. This first one is one of my favorites. It's Creme Brulee, so it's sort of a pinky nude. And this is one of the ones that, even though it's a pretty light color, it does have a fair bit of opacity. Oh, I forgot to mention, all of them smell sort of like baked goods, which is really, really nice. So as I said, this one is on the more opaque side. I'll do a swatch on my lips. So it is a very similar color to my natural lip color, just a little more nude. So it is not completely obvious how opaque it is, especially on camera, but in real life it is pretty opaque. And I'll sometimes put it over a really bright lipstick to kind of tone it down. And that looks pretty nice. So you can see it's just very nice and glossy and pretty opaque color. Next is Vanilla Cream Pie. So this one is definitely on the pinker side, and it's a little bit cool toned, so it's not the greatest color for my skin tone, but I still do really like it. This is another one that is pretty opaque. It's a little more sheer than Creme Brulee. You can see it's the second one, and even though it is a darker color, it's a little bit sheer. So this one is kind of a muted Barbie pink. It's really nice. I think this is definitely an everyday color. It would go with a lot of things, and it can be worn in pretty much any season, although I would probably prefer it for spring and summer. But that's just a really nice color, and the sheerness makes it a lot more wearable, I think. Next, we have Maple Blondie, which is sort of similar to Vanilla Cream Pie, but on the more coral peachy side. This is another one that has medium opacity. Sorry, that's my phone. So this is another one that has medium opacity, even a little less opaque than the previous ones, but it does definitely show up on the lips really nicely. So, as I said, this one is a little more on the peachy side, and I absolutely love this one for summer. I think it's really bright and pretty and fun, and it seems a little bit white-based, so it can be a little bit stark on the lips, but I do like it. I think it's really pretty. And that is Maple Blondie. Next we have one that is pretty similar to Maple Blondie, but a little bit brighter and more pink as opposed to peach. This one is Peaches and Cream. I just said it doesn't have the most peachy tones. It is definitely on the pinker side. And this one is pretty opaque, especially because it's a brighter color. There we go, it's the one on top. So you can see it is a lot more opaque than Maple Blondie and a lot on the pinker side. So this is probably one of my favorites. I think it's bright enough to be fun, but not too bright, so it's still on the wearable side, and you can wear it for every day. I absolutely love this one, and I think it's the perfect opacity where it's definitely still a gloss, but it does give a fair amount of color. This next gloss is one of the more opaque and bright ones out of the bunch. It's called Cupcake, and it's just a bright, slightly corally pink. This one, as I said, is very opaque, and it's actually pretty similar to Peaches and Cream, just a little bit less coral toned and more just of a true pink, a little brighter. But you can see they're pretty similar. This one is definitely more bold on the lips. There we go. So you can see this one is really bright and fun. I still don't think it's too bold for everyday wear, but it definitely is on the brighter side, and I really love this one for spring and summer. I think it's really fun, and it is definitely one of the more bold colors in this line. Next we have probably the most sheer one from the ones I have. It's called Strawberry Parfait, and it looks like a pretty bold color. It's kind of a purpley pink, like a magenta, but it turns out to be pretty sheer. So it's just sort of a sheer wash of color. And let's see it on the lips. Alright, so you can see it's definitely really sheer. It just sort of gives a tinge of purple. This is not one of my favorites, but I still do like it because I'm trying to ease into the purples kind of, and I think this is sort of a nice baby step. It's not too bright or too bold, but it's a nice color. Now moving into the reds. First one I have is called Cherry Pie, and it's just sort of a true, slightly orange tone red. This one is a medium opacity. It isn't as opaque as I would like, but I think it's nice to have sort of a sheer red gloss. So that is what it looks like. As I said, it's sort of just a classic red. So here is Cherry Pie. As I said, it's pretty sheer, but it's still a nice red color. I kind of like the sheerness. I think it's interesting to have a sheer red, and it makes it wearable for any season. Next is probably the most opaque out of the colors that I have. This one is called Red Velvet, and it's a darker, more cool-toned red. This one is a little bit of a thicker formula than the others, but it's still really nice and smooth. So there's that one. You can see it's a lot darker and more cool-toned than Cherry Pie. Sorry if it's not the best application. It's kind of hard to apply on camera because it is a very opaque and pretty bold color. I love this one. I think it's more of a fall and winter color, and I really look forward to wearing it during the Christmas season. So this one is really gorgeous, and I would qualify this one as more of a liquid lipstick. It's definitely one of the more opaque ones along with Cupcake. The last color I have to show you is probably the scariest looking in the tube. This is Devil's Food Cake, and it's a dark sort of purpley burgundy with some brown tones. So it doesn't look like the most flattering color, but I don't have anything like it, so I want to try it out. And it is definitely on the sheer side. So you can see there, it shears out to a nice sort of just burgundy maroon color, but it's still pretty dark. So here is Devil's Food Cake. You can see it's kind of a harder color to pull off. I'm not sure when I'm going to wear this, probably in the fall or winter if I wear it. I do like it. It's very unique among my collection, and because it's sheer, it's not super unwearable, but it's definitely not the most flattering color, so I'd probably just wear it for like a special look, maybe like a Halloween look. But again, the formula is great on all of these. I would definitely recommend them, and they have even more colors. I just got the ones that I thought I would get the most use out of, except for that last one. I just wanted to see what it was like. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this review, and it gave you some ideas on which of these glosses you'd like to pick up, if any. I definitely recommend them. My favorites out of the line are probably Creme Brulee, Peaches and Cream, and Red Velvet. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!